It's your chance to be ruthless.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid.
All right, so today we are taking a deep dive into the world of Mia Maples.
Oh, Mia Maples.
You know, a YouTuber who I know a lot of our listeners are very familiar with already.
Yeah. It seems like you have a real, you have quite a bit of research here. Some articles, some notes,
I do
some
know.
analytics reports.
Yeah, I wanted to get into it.
So it seems like we're really going deep on this one.
That's the idea.
Okay.
We want to figure out what makes her tick. Why is she so successful? Why are millions of people hooked on her videos?
Yeah, it's interesting. She's sort of, you know, on the surface, she's this bubbly Canadian YouTuber, been around since 2013.
Yeah, she started as Ivory Girl 48, actually.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and she does, like, you know, DIY projects, fashion hauls, home makeovers, the usual stuff.
Yeah.
But there's something about her that's just, it's magnetic.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to figure out.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah.
Because she's not just been around, she's thrived
Absolutely.
and consistently creating
Out
content.
for over 10 years.
Wow, that's huge.
And you know what really struck me while I was going through your notes? There was that one time she accidentally dyed her hair green,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
trying a DIY hair mask.
Yeah.
And she just turned it into a whole video laughing at herself the whole time.
That's great.
It's so authentic.
It is. It's that, it's not even just relatable, it's she's being vulnerable, you know?
Yeah.
She's not afraid to show those flaws, and I think that makes her even more endearing to the audience.
Totally.
You know, it's, I think a really important point here is that turning point in her career
Okay.
seemed to be around 2018 when she started really collaborating with a bunch of other YouTubers.
I remember reading about that, especially when she did those collabs with, like, those home decor channels.
Yeah.
Her audience, like, exploded.
Right. It was really a strategic masterstroke, honestly.
Yeah.
Because she was tapping into existing communities.
Yeah.
And it exposed her to a whole new audience.
Yeah.
It wasn't just about the content anymore.
It was about the reach.
It was about the reach.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Yeah. But a lot of YouTubers do collabs.
They do. So there's got to be something more.
Right. What else are you seeing in the data?
Well, one word. Versatility.
Oh, interesting.
You highlighted this in your notes.
Yeah.
She does wedding dress hauls one day, gadget testing the next,
Yeah.
and then she's like renovating a whole room in her house.
She does it all.
Yeah, it's like she's tapped into multiple YouTube algorithms at once.
So smart.
Yeah.
I mean, she's really not putting herself in a box, and that's got to be, like, refreshing for viewers.
I think so.
You never know what you're going to get, but you know it'll be Mia, and it'll be entertaining.
Exactly.
And you mentioned her budget-conscious approach in your notes, and I think that deserves a closer look.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, in a world of influencers pushing luxury brands and unattainable lifestyles,
Totally.
she's kind of showing you how to create this, like, stylish life on a budget.
Yeah, and I think that's really smart because it's not just about, you know, saving money. It's about pushing back against that whole influencer culture of like keeping up with the Joneses.
Absolutely.
And she does it so effortlessly.
Yeah, she really does.
She found that sweet spot between aspirational and achievable, which I think is, you know, especially appealing to a younger audience.
Yeah, for sure.
And, you know, something else that you pointed out in your notes was the involvement of her family.
Oh, yeah, that's huge. Her brother, her parents, they're all part of the show.
Right, and it adds to that wholesomeness.
It really does. It's like a feel-good vibe.
Yeah, but I also think it, you know, we can't undersell the fact that it also adds to her viewership.
Oh, interesting.
People who are into DIY might watch for that.
Right.
Fashionistas might tune in for the hauls.
Yeah.
But then you have people who are just tuning in for the family dynamic.
Yeah.
For the humor.
The realness.
The realness of it all.
And it's all centered around her personality.
Yeah.
Which, you know, actually brings us to the AliExpress wedding dress challenge, which, you know, you marked as a must discuss point in the research.
A must discuss.
This wasn't just some random viral trend for her, was it?
No, it was perfectly timed.
Okay.
Remember, this was, you know, around 2018.
Yeah.
There's a growing interest in affordable wedding options. People were kind of tired of the traditional expensive wedding industry.
So she tapped into like a cultural zeitgeist.
Exactly.
She saw a need, or at least a growing interest, and she ran with it.
And she did it in a way that was authentic to her brand. Funny, relatable, a little bit chaotic.
Totally.
I remember that video where her dad is trying to help her zip up the dress, and it's clearly like 2 sizes too small.
Oh my gosh, yes, I was crying laughing.
Classic Mia.
Classic Mia. But it also highlighted something else that I think is really central to her success. She creates so much of her content from her own home.
Yeah, and creating content from her own home wasn't just a practical decision.
Oh, okay.
It was a strategic one. That accessibility contributes directly to her success
Yeah.
because it makes everything she does feel achievable, you know?
Right, like, hey, if Mia can renovate her bathroom with a budget of like $500,
Right.
maybe I can spruce up my kitchen too.
Exactly. It taps into that sense of empowerment and self-sufficiency that, I think a lot of people are craving these days.
For sure.
It's not about perfection.
Right.
It's about progress, creativity, making the most of what you have, which, by the way, perfectly segues into this next point that you highlighted.
Okay.
She doesn't shy away from showing the process,
Totally.
even the messy parts.
Oh, absolutely. Remember that video where she tried to build a bookshelf?
Oh, yeah.
And it like literally collapsed on camera.
Yeah.
I thought for sure she would edit that out,
But she didn't.
but she didn't.
She embraced the disaster, turned it into a learning experience, and even managed to make us laugh along the way.
It's so good.
It's another layer of that authenticity that resonates with viewers. It's like she's saying, look, I mess up too, but it's okay.
Right.
We can learn from it and keep going.
It's refreshing in a world of perfectly curated Instagram feeds and airbrushed realities.
Totally.
It's a nice reminder that it's okay to not be perfect.
Yeah.
To make mistakes, to be a work in progress.
Yeah.
Speaking of work in progress, her channel hasn't always been this successful.
Huh?
I mean, she started back in 2013.
A long time ago.
Yeah, what was it like in those early days?
From what I gathered from the sources you provided, those early videos were definitely more amateur.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of production and content.
Yeah, like the lighting and the sound.
Yeah. She was still kind of finding her voice.
Right.
Experimenting with different formats. It's like she was a one-woman show figuring it all out as she went.
So what changed?
That's a great question.
Was there like a specific moment when things just clicked for her?
It wasn't so much like a single moment
Okay.
as it was a gradual evolution.
Okay.
As she gained more experience, her editing improved, her content became more focused.
Yeah,
And I think her personality just really started to shine through.
that's key.
It's like she finally found her stride
Yeah.
and viewers took notice.
And the numbers reflect that too.
Absolutely. The data you shared clearly indicates that, around 2016, her video views and her subscriber count they started to climb significantly.
It's interesting you point out the personality shining through part.
Yeah.
Because, in going through all this research, it really does seem to be like a common thread.
It does.
Her genuine, down-to-earth personality. It's a major draw for viewers.
People feel like they know her,
Yeah,
like they're hanging out with a friend.
totally.
And, that's something that you can't fake.
Right.
You can't manufacture that. It's either there or it's not.
Yeah,
And in Mia's case, it's definitely there.
it really is.
It radiates from her videos and it's infectious.
Okay, so we've established that she's relatable, she's versatile, she's got this whole family dynamic going on. She's not afraid to be herself.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Okay.
YouTube is a business.
It is a business.
Right. And Mia Maples is a successful businesswoman.
She is.
So how has she managed to monetize her channel without compromising her authenticity?
That's a great question. And it's something that you clearly wanted to delve into.
Yeah.
She's been very transparent about her income streams, which include, ad revenue,
Of course.
sponsorships, and her own merchandise line.
Which is smart. Transparency builds trust.
Absolutely. And from what I've seen, she's very selective about the brands that she partners with.
Yeah.
They align with her values and her aesthetic.
It doesn't feel forced.
It feels very natural and authentic.
Like she's recommending products to a friend rather than just reading a script from a sponsor.
Yeah, and that's key because if viewers sense that you're not being genuine, they will tune out.
100%.
And it's not just about the brands that she chooses.
Right.
It's about how she integrates those brands into her content.
Yeah.
She's not constantly pushing products in your face.
Right.
She weaves them in very naturally.
Yeah, it feels like a suggestion rather than a hard sell.
Exactly.
So she's found that balance between being like a successful entrepreneur
Yeah.
and staying true to herself.
Yeah.
Which is honestly pretty impressive.
It is.
But you know what else is impressive?
What's that?
Her consistency.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Over 10 years of uploading videos week after week.
That's huge.
That takes dedication.
It's a testament to her work ethic and her passion for what she does.
Yeah.
And it's a key factor in her success.
Yeah.
Consistency breeds familiarity.
Yeah.
Build trust, and it keeps viewers coming back for more.
It's like she's built this relationship with her audience.
Yeah.
And she's nurturing that relationship with every video she uploads.
It's not just creating content, it's building a community.
And that community is fiercely loyal.
Oh, yeah.
They've watched her grow. They've celebrated her successes.
They've been there through the ups and the downs.
Okay, so we've talked about her personality, her content, her business savvy, her consistency.
It's a lot.
I think it's time to address the big question.
The big one.
Why is Mia Maples so successful?
The million-dollar question.
What is the secret sauce?
Honestly,
Yeah.
I think it's a combination of everything we just discussed.
Oh, okay.
There's no magic formula.
Right.
No one-size-fits-all answer.
So it's not just about being relatable. It's not just about having great content. It's not just about being consistent.
No.
It's about the synergy of all those elements.
Exactly. It's about creating a holistic experience that resonates with viewers on multiple levels.
That makes sense.
It's about being authentic,
Yeah.
being engaging, being consistent, being business-minded,
And being Mia.
and being Mia.
Let's not forget that.
There's only one Mia Maples.
There is.
And that's what makes her so special.
But what's interesting is that her success, while unique,
Yeah.
also offers like valuable lessons for anyone looking to create content online.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think are the biggest takeaways from her journey?
I think one of the biggest takeaways is the importance of authenticity.
Okay.
In a world of, curated perfection,
Right.
being yourself is a breath of fresh air.
And it's something that viewers crave.
Oh yeah, they want to connect with real people, not polished facades.
Another takeaway, and this one is like echoed throughout all the research, the power of consistency.
Oh, absolutely.
Building a successful online presence, it takes time,
It does.
effort, dedication.
Yeah, you got to show up consistently even when you don't feel like it.
Right.
Even when the views are low.
Even when the algorithm is working against you.
Totally. It's about playing the long game, not chasing quick wins or viral fame.
It's about the long game.
Yeah.
And I think a final takeaway here is the importance of community.
Yes.
Mia hasn't just built a channel, right? She's built this community of engaged viewers who feel connected to her and to each other.
And that's powerful.
It is. It's what amplifies her message. It drives her success. It's what keeps her going.
It's a reminder that success isn't just about individual effort.
Yeah.
It's about building connections,
Yeah.
fostering relationships,
Yeah.
creating something bigger than yourself.
You mentioned earlier that she's carved out her own space in the YouTube landscape.
Yeah.
But does that mean that she's immune to criticism?
Of course not. No one is immune to criticism, especially online.
Right.
And Mia's definitely had her fair share of it.
Like that time she partnered with that fast fashion brand.
Oh, yeah.
And got like a lot of backlash for promoting unsustainable practices.
Exactly. It was a learning experience for her.
Yeah.
And, to her credit, she addressed the criticism head on,
Yeah.
acknowledged her mistake, and pledged to be more mindful of her choices in the future.
Which honestly is more than a lot of influencers would do.
It is. She could have easily ignored the criticism or brushed it off.
Totally.
But she didn't. She took ownership of her actions and used that experience as an opportunity to learn and grow.
And that's another thing that sets her apart.
It is.
So what's next for Mia Maples?
Ooh, good question.
Any predictions based on the data?
Well, based on, her recent activity
Yeah.
and the trends that we're seeing in the research, it seems like she's leaning more into the home renovation
Okay.
and interior design niche.
Which makes sense. She's got a knack for it.
She does.
And it's a growing market.
It is.
Big market.
Yeah, and she's been teasing some pretty exciting collaborations with interior designers and home decor brands.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So it seems like she's evolving, but still staying true to those core values of authenticity, accessibility, creativity.
It's exciting to see where she'll go next.
I think so too.
She's a force to be reckoned with.
She is.
And I have a feeling she's just getting started.
All this talk about Mia Maples has me feeling inspired.
It's amazing how she's like built this successful career by just being herself, having fun, connecting with people.
Yeah, it's a reminder that sometimes the simplest approach is the most effective.
Totally.
You don't need a fancy formula or $1 million marketing budget.
You just need to be genuine, be passionate, and be willing to put in the work.
And don't be afraid to show your flaws.
Yes.
Embrace the messiness, the imperfections, the unexpected turns along the way.
Because that's what makes you human.
It is.
And that's what makes you relatable.
And in a world that's, increasingly obsessed with perfection,
Totally.
a little bit of realness goes a long way.
But speaking of realness, thinking back to those early videos we were talking about.
Oh, yeah.
The ones where the lighting was a little off, the editing was a bit choppy.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And, she was still figuring out that whole, on-camera persona.
They're like little time capsules.
They are.
Of her journey,
Yeah, and it's funny because even back then, you could still see, her energy.
Oh, yeah.
Her genuine enthusiasm, it just shone through.
There was something there.
There was something special even back then.
Right from the start.
Looking back on those videos now, it's like watching a flower bloom in time lapse.
Oh, I like it.
You can see the growth, the evolution, her confidence and creativity just blossoming.
It's really a testament to the power of perseverance.
Yeah.
And self-belief.
Yeah, totally.
She didn't let the initial, awkwardness or the technical challenges deter her.
No.
She just kept experimenting.
Kept learning.
Kept pushing herself.
Yeah, and that's a valuable lesson for anyone.
I think so.
Regardless of whether or not they're an aspiring YouTuber.
Absolutely.
It's about embracing the journey, the stumbles, the imperfections, and using them as fuel to grow.
Love that.
What I find so fascinating is that even with all of her success, she hasn't lost that, sense of humility.
No, not at all.
And approachability.
She seems very grounded,
Very grounded, very down to earth.
Yeah.
She still responds to comments.
Oh, wow.
Interacts with her fans, makes them feel like they're part of the journey.
She must spend a lot of time on that because her audience is huge.
It's huge, but you can tell that she genuinely appreciates them.
Yeah.
And that's something that you can't fake that.
Nope. It's got to be real.
It's got to be real. And it's a two-way street, this whole relationship.
Oh, for sure.
Between creator and viewer.
Absolutely. And she's mastered the art of navigating that street.
Yeah.
I think she's found this sweet spot between being a relatable friend and an inspiring mentor.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah.
Her personality, her content, her business savvy, her evolution as a creator.
It's been a journey.
It really has.
A deep dive.
But if you had to distill all of this into one key takeaway for our listener, what would it be?
What's the Mia Maples secret sauce?
Yeah, secret sauce.
I think the biggest takeaway, the one that underpins everything else is this. Be yourself, unapologetically.
Love that.
Embrace your quirks, your flaws, your unique perspective.
Because that's what makes you stand out.
Exactly. In a sea of sameness, that's what connects with people on a deeper level.
It's that human element.
It is. And don't be afraid to, experiment, evolve, try new things.
Yeah.
The beauty of a platform like YouTube is that it allows for that constant reinvention.
To blank canvas.
Yeah, you can explore different facets of yourself, different passions, different creative avenues.
And who knows, maybe along the way you'll inspire millions of people just like Mia Maples.
It could happen.
I think we've successfully unpacked the Mia Maples phenomenon here today.
I think so.
We went beyond, just the surface level observations and really dug deep into what makes her tick.
The why behind the what.
Yeah, why she's so successful and what we can all learn from her journey.
It's been a fascinating deep dive. And I really hope that our listener has, gleaned some valuable insights from this.
Yeah.
That they can apply to their own lives, whether they're content creators, entrepreneurs, or just, individuals looking to make their mark on the world.
So what's next for you after this deep dive?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Any Mia Maples inspired projects on the horizon?
Maybe.
We'd love to hear about it. Drop us a comment or send us an email.
Yeah, let us know.
And who knows, maybe your insights will inspire the next deep dive.
Until then, keep exploring.
Keep creating.
Keep being your awesome selves.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Mia Maples.
It's been a pleasure.
We'll catch you next time for another fascinating exploration.
If you loved this deep dive, make sure to hit like and subscribe for more behind-the-scenes stories of your favorite influencers. Drop a comment below who should we cover next. Stay curious, and see you next time.
Everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath.